I got into the Snipe class in about 1938. On Lake Merritt, bought a boat called the Silver Heels, number 1442. Beautiful boat, heavy. Well, when I started out, I was back in the pack. The good sailors were doing real well and had good boats. And so I started realizing the boat I had was a beautiful looking boat. The old Silver Heels was teak deck and white molding and sides and all, but it was pretty heavy. And so anyway, I finally decided I better catch up with them and get a light boat, and that's what we did do. And I ended up with the Mouse and then the Cricket. Let me start at the beginning. We qualified to go down. As I remember, just one boat from a club could go down, and I qualified, I think, from the Lake Merritt Sailing Club, and Bill Jackson, just a good friend and competitor, qualified from some other club, and we teamed up. I took our family station wagon, two-wheel trailer with two Snipes, one double-decked, and I think we were maybe pioneered the double-decking business. I don't know if they still do it or not, but one rides in a regular trailer, and then you put supports on the deck of the other one and strap them down, and away we went. We drove straight through, the Hall brothers and Bill Jackson and myself, and went to Eagle Mountain Lake out of Fort Worth in Texas. And I don't remember I think the Junior Nationals were first, and I won that. And then the Internationals, we called them then, as I remember, were next, and I think either Darby Metcalf or Freddie Skank won that, and I got second. It was about a week sailing, a week or a week and a half down there, and it was a great time. We had some pretty good weather a couple of days there. Matter of fact, I sort of remember the committee was up there on the deck looking out on the Eagle Mountain Lake, and the wind was blowing, and they weren't sure they wouldn't have the race. So I went down and got in our boat and went out, and the crew, I had to pick up a crew down there. I guess he had to be junior also. And I forget the fellow's name, a very fine young man, and we went out and went up the lake and back, and didn't blow over, didn't blow things away. And so anyway, I remember the people back there were very hospitable, and I think as we did at some of the regattas, we take a sleeping bag along and sleep in the clubhouse floor. I don't know, I think maybe we did that back there. Yeah, there wasn't any real secrets, well, as far as sharing information. There wasn't any real secrets, but you didn't go out and tell them how to do it, all the details. They had to look at your boat, and they could do that, and it was pretty obvious what you'd done. But then whether they already had a boat, so they could adapt their boat to it. I do remember that the Hall brothers, who were the premier folks in Northern California when I started with the old Silver Heels, they had their boat, the Melody, was a heavy boat, and after they had the experience with the Grey Goose and Freddie Skank's boat, and then, racing against them, and then using that boat in the Internationals, they went in and shaved down the ribs and a lot of the woodwork in the Melody. It made it leak a lot more, so they had a little problem keeping water out of it, but it lightened it down so they could still, for one season, I think they got a pretty good go out of it. But then they decided they'd retire, and Bob Hall crewed for me then, and Walt crewed for Bill Jackson. Well, I think that the Snipe class is probably the best of the one-design boats. There's other big stars, there's Lightnings, I don't know the Olympic classes, but I think all around, I have to admit I'm not up on all the new boats and the size of the fleets of each of them, but I still think, in my opinion, the Snipe class is still the best. It's good for young people, it's good for older people, and they're not all that expensive. I still strongly endorse the Snipe class as the best out there.